to my show. This is Asha Joseph on AJo Logs.
Hi, everyone. This is Mani Soma, also with KaMani Sutra, my drag name.
Okay. So, should I call you Mani or Soma? Like, what?
Mani should be fine. Mani,
Okay.
yeah.
So, Mani, what's your full name? Mani Soma is your actual full name, or?
No, actually, na పేరు మొత్తం like Manikiran Soma Gaut, and it comes with like I don't like the name of carrying around with my like caste
I
last
got it.
name,
Okay.
and I would rather prefer to just be like Mani Soma, short and sweet. So for most of the white people, they can't pronounce money. When I say money, they say mani, and that sounds so weird to me. So probably like Soma and Japtano, but people who are basis and who can pronounce, I would probably prefer like money.
Right. So before I start, I want to tell the viewers, Mani is he is a gay, and so maybe I wanted you to say whatever you are like.
Sure, that would be more easy.
I know,
I guess.
more apt.
Yeah. So I am actually. So it's a like whole story. Now I identify as genderqueer, and I don't fall under any gender norms. I'm a genderqueer person. So initially I came out as gay, and then I came out as genderqueer. That I doesn't represent the gender the society wanted me to. So I identify my gender as genderqueer and non-binary, and yeah.
So నేను queer by ఎలా చెప్తారు? I'm unable to pronounce it. Queer అని వర్డ్ చాలా చూస్తున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ సీయింగ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ప్లేసెస్ ఆన్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్, ఆన్ టిక్ టాక్ అండ్ థింగ్స్ లైక్ దట్. కొంచెం దాని గురించి చెప్తారు, అసలు ఏంటిది సడన్ గా ఈ వర్డ్ వచ్చింది? ఇంతకు ముందు ఈ వర్డ్ యూస్ ఎక్కువ చేయలేదు.
So basically, if you Google and do everything, like Google just చూస్తే like queer అంటే different అని వస్తుంది. So queer is something that you don't follow under any heteronormative like binary terms law, but gays who could also be like straight passing, like a అబ్బాయిలానే ఉంటారు, but you don't know that they are gay. Like I was in నేను అలాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ లో ఉండేది, because I carried myself like a boy and man, and people would never get to know that I am gay.
Okay.
Unless నేను చెప్తే మాత్రం మనకి తెలియదు వాళ్ళకు. ఎందుకంటే I be casually like that is called straight passing. Straight passing.
Passing.
Yeah, passing.
Okay.
Straight passing.
Okay.
So straight passing anamata, like they have that privilege. Like ఇప్పుడు ఒక heteronormative, like straight people దగ్గరికి బయటికి వెళ్ళి ఎక్కడ నువ్వు చూసిన, like if you go hang out outside, నిన్ను ఎవరు గుర్తుపట్టలేరు. So if I just go with my all like my eyeshadow makeup and like my earrings, like nose ముక్కు పుడక పెట్టుకొని చెవులు కమ్మలు పెట్టుకొని నేను ఇలా వెళ్ళాను అనుకో, so this is something different. They would definitely know that, oh, వీడేంటో తేడాగా ఉన్నాడు. He is not exactly following under the way people wanted to see me.
Okay, yeah.
So that is where the term comes, like queer. I'm different from everybody. So it's like gender queer. So gender and sexuality are totally different. So na gender nene express chestunna anedi, that is for me, not for any other people. And sexuality is something what I wanted to do in my bedroom, or like sexually I'm attracted to anybody. That is sexually.
Okay.
If rendu parallel, they never gonna intersect at all. But there are some people who are pansexuals, who are called like they're attracted to all genders and all personalities. They're called pansexuals.
Okay. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, చాలా ఉంది నేర్చుకోవడానికి.
I know. So yeah, I learn a lot of terminologies today. I have to make a note of it. Avunu, సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు న్యూయార్క్ లో ఉన్నారు కదా?
నో, వాషింగ్టన్ డీసీలో.
డీసీలో, ఓకే. సో ఇండియాలో ఉన్నప్పుడు హౌ వాజ్ యువర్ లైఫ్? లైక్ డిడ్ యూ, like you said, you were, what is the term that you used, passing, street passing, అలాంటి ఒక వే ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ యు వర్ లీడింగ్ కదా, ఎందుకు అలా వచ్చింది, అండ్ those kind of things do you want to discuss?
Sure. So basically, like I was born and brought up in Hyderabad. Like Hyderabad dati నేను ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళలేదు. Like never in my life నేను Hyderabad dati. I never went to North India or like Mumbai, Goa, anywhere.
South India.
So I was grown up in
South India.
సౌత్ ఇండియాలో నేను అంటే లైక్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ అక్కడ అంతా వెళ్ళాను. ఐ వెంట్ టు కేరళ, ఎందుకంటే అయ్యప్ప మాల వేసుకున్నప్పుడు అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాను. ఇట్ జస్ట్ లైక్ ఓన్లీ 2 years with the family, but never really explored any cities or like by myself, like because అంత ఫ్రీడమ్ ఇవ్వలేదు నాకు ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్. Like very conservative family, and very caste privilege, and religious, and like society కోసం చాలా like అలాంటి బాక్స్ లో ఉండిపోయాను నేను. అండ్ ఇట్ వాస్ అప్పుడు ఉన్నప్పుడు నాకు ఈ టర్మ్స్ ఏం తెలియదు. లైక్ ఐ డెంట్ ఈవెన్ నో లైక్ దీన్ని గే అంటారు, లైక్ లైక్ లెస్బియన్, లైక్ జెండర్ క్వియర్ పీపుల్ ఇలా ఉంటారని ఏం తెలియదు. తెలిసింది ఓన్లీ 3 అక్షరం, లైక్ అమ్మాయి, అబ్బాయి, అండ్ దెన్ హిజ్రా ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ పీపుల్. అండ్ ఉంటే అమ్మాయిలా ఉండాలి, ఉంటే అబ్బాయిలా ఉండాలి అంతే. అండ్ ట్రాన్స్ లా ఉండొచ్చు, కానీ ఐ డెంట్ వాంటెడ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై విత్ దట్, బికాజ్ ఎందుకంటే ఐ సీన్ పీపుల్ లైక్ వాళ్ళని కొడతారు, తిడతారు, లైక్ ఎన్ని లైక్ దే గో త్రూ సో మచ్ ఇన్ లైక్ నార్మల్ సొసైటీలో. లైక్ మళ్ళీ లైక్ వాళ్ళని ఏదైనా లైక్ శుభకార్యం అవుతే మన ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళని పిలుచుకుంటారు, కొత్త షాపింగ్ మాల్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళకి దీవెన మంచిదని అంటారు. కానీ లైక్ బయట సొసైటీ వాళ్ళని లైక్ దే డూ సెక్స్ వర్క్ అలాట్. ఆ సెక్స్ వర్క్ చేసినప్పుడు పోయి ఎవరు చంపుతాడో తెలియదు. లైక్ ఐ హావ్ సీన్ లిటరల్లీ పీపుల్ లైక్ నేను హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు లైక్ మాకు ఒక చిన్న పాండబ్బ షాప్ ఉండే. సో ఆ పాండబ్బ షాప్ దగ్గర ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను చూసేవాడిని అనమాట. ఇలా అడుక్కునే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, అడుక్కుంటుంటారు, లైక్ లైక్ కార్లను ఆపి పైసలు అడుక్కుంటుంటారు, వాళ్ళని కొడుతుండే. సో yeah, I have seen those all, and I don't wanted to identify with that. And they are clearly interested in guys, and I always, never in my life I never found a woman attractive. It's always, I always keep looking at men, and like I had those once I hit my puberty, I clearly got to know that I'm like,
oh wow,
అబ్బాయిలంటే చాలా ఇష్టం. లైక్ ఐ డోంట్ నో ఎందుకో, లైక్ ఇఫ్ అ guy who's like tall and like beard తో ఉంటే I feel like very attracted to him. I'm like, wow, is this like because I am also tall, I am like 5'11" and I have my beard, it's like clearly నన్ను నేను అట్రాక్టివ్ గా, నన్ను నేనే నాకు నేనే నచ్చుతున్నాను. అలాంటి అబ్బాయి నేను చూస్తే నాకు I feel so turned on. So I didn't know that. And while growing up, ఒక ఫ్రెండ్ ఉండే, సో like don't ask don't tell situation type anamata. So ఏమన్నా చెయ్యి రాత్రి పూట, like nobody cares, and don't talk about it when you get up. Like there's also like so much of stigma of we are not, South Asians not talking about sex,
right?
Like we don't talk about sex at all.
Oh yeah, that's
if you're talking about sex, like you're like cancelled in the whole family, and like they consider you as a whore, or like you're a అన్ని ఇలాంటి గలీజ్ లైక్ గలీజ్ అని అనొద్దు, కానీ లైక్ ఇక్కడ యుఎస్ కి వచ్చి మనం బిచ్ హోర్ అంటే సొఫిస్టికేటెడ్ గా అంటున్నాము, బట్ తెలుగులో ఆ పదాలు వాడితే ఇక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఎట్లా, ఓ మై గాడ్ అంత అఫెన్సివ్ వర్డ్ వాడతావు ఏంటి అని. లైక్ అండ్ లైక్ హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్ అఫెన్సివ్ వెన్ యూ సే బిచ్ and Telugulo lanja antaru. So those are literally the same words.
Right.
Like colonizers that made it English so easy. Manam Telugulo mana maatlu maatladte manake ento chirakuga anipistuntadi.
Right.
So I was in those situations. So ala undi maatladukuntu like alanti identities tho naku undalani lekunde. So I had a boyfriend. I don't know if I should say it's a boyfriend or not, but I was with him for 6 years.
Back in India?
Back in India lo.
Okay.
17 years unde. So itno like now schoolmate, like something happened in between us. Like he's very close to my family. He came over to my home. We slept. Like touchings and everything has happened, and when next day we woke up and we never really talked about it, and it keep continuing. And I was also like, okay, oh, he's not saying anything, and I'm getting what I want and he's getting what he want, and emotionally, physically, I'm getting what I want, and I don't want it to acknowledge that to the society. And I was like,
Oh.
alane నడిచిపోతా ఉంది. Like for 6 years, 4 years అయిపోయింది. Like we were in relationship. Oh, like మా ఇంట్లో వాళ్ళకి చాలా like కలిసిపోయినట్టు. Like he's like very close to my family.
Okay, you said you never spoke to the person about it. Never. In this 4 years, never you spoke. I mean, though
So
you said you were in a relationship.
yeah, 4-5 years were అలానే ఉండే, but at the end of the time, like he got, we had an argument about what is happening in between us, and it's like, oh, like I don't want to talk to you anymore, and he, like మా అక్క wedding లో we stopped talking, and like that is happened. And అప్పుడు నేను డిగ్రీ కాలేజ్ లో ఉండే అనమాట. సో డిగ్రీలో ఉండే, సో అంతా నేను గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయిపోయాను, అతను గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ అయిపోయాడు. బట్ after that I was like so in depression. Like I didn't know that I was in a depression, because all I had my school friends అందరినీ like కనెక్షన్ లో లేకుండే, ఎందుకంటే వీడి ఫ్రెండ్స్ నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ లాగా అయిపోయింది అనమాట. లైక్ దట్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ ఐ లెర్న్డ్ అబౌట్ ఇఫ్ యూర్ బీయింగ్ ఇన్ ఎనీ రిలేషన్షిప్, లైక్ డు నాట్ గివ్ అప్ యువర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అగైన్. లైక్ at the end of the time you want your friends and your relationships also. So అదంతా అయిపోయింది. మా అక్క మ్యారేజ్ అయిపోయి వెళ్ళిపోయింది. I was totally in depression, and then I started like Google search. Like that's when I got graduation అయిపోయి జాబ్ వచ్చింది అనమాట. నాకు వెల్స్ ఫార్గోలో జాబ్ చేసేవాడిని. సో I mean, I'm always like studious person in my family, like studious and like maybe I think as a male born person, I had like so many privileges that I could explore a lot. But on the other side, my sister, she did engineering, and tanu job చేయనివ్వలేదు. తను పెళ్లి చేసేసారు రైట్ అవే. తను 21 అయిపోయి గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ అయిపోగానే పెళ్లి చేసేసారు, because she's like girl, she has to get married on so and so time. And like I think as a born as a AMAB, as like a sane male at birth, I had so many privileges, and like I had so many access to freedom, you know. So అలా నేను వెల్స్ ఫార్గోలో జాబ్ చేయడం మొదలు పెట్టాను, and that's when I get to know like outside that bubble of my own family and him. That's when I started exploring, when I was like 20 years old ఉన్నప్పుడు, 21-20 ఉన్నప్పుడు జాబ్ వచ్చింది నాకు. నేను వెల్స్ ఫార్గోలో జాబ్ చేస్తున్నాను. My HR was very flamboyant, and like it's very obvious that he's gay. Like there is some చెప్పాను కదా ఇందాక, like there are people who act straight and there are people who are very feminine. You could easily say that they're like, oh, they're gay.
Yeah, true.
The gaydar, you could easily say. And I was so happy, and like seeing a person in a social environment and like in social spaces, and he's in a higher position, and like HR manager alone there. I was like, damn, I think it's okay to be like that. Like appudu అనిపించింది. ఆ 2 years ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా నేను బయటికి వెళ్ళి వాళ్ళతో అతనితో మాట్లాడలేదు అండ్ ఏం చేయలేదు. I was like very silent and like observing him. ఫేస్బుక్ ఫేక్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నాను. Yeah, so Facebook, there's so many Facebook fake accounts. అలా Facebook fake accounts. ఇంకా ప్లానెట్ రోమియో అని ఒక గే డేటింగ్ యాప్ ఉంటుంది, అది డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకున్నాను. లైక్ I used to hook up with people. They just randomly used to come to my home and we hook up, and then they just used to live. Ala 6 months I've been doing it. And then after that I was like, what am I doing? Like, is this is not what I wanted. This is not just about physical attraction. This is something beyond physical also. Appude ardhamaindi, like, oh, I think I need to stop this and I need to figure out what actually I am.
So when all this was happening, so I'm assuming that you were in the age bracket of 21 and
21 to 23, our age lo.
Okay. 23, yeah. So still exploring and trying to understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
సో
So,
అలా ఫేస్బుక్ లో క్వియర్ క్యాంపస్ హైదరాబాద్ అని ఒక గ్రూప్ ఉండే.
oh, really? Oh,
యా
okay.
సో అదే కదా, లైక్ నేను అనేది అదే, లైక్ మన వాళ్ళు లైక్ ఓ మై గాడ్ ఇదంతా కొత్తగా ఉంది, ఇది ఏంటి అని అంటారు. లేదురా నాయన, మన దాంట్లో లైక్ తరతరాలుగా ఉన్నాయి. లైక్ నవ్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు రెఫర్ టు ఎనీ వెస్టర్న్ gay culture or anything. When I keep talking, I can keep talking about our own culture of South Indian people also. Like South Asian people has so much of queer representation
Right.
that we could talk about.
I'm not aware of it, but I would love to know.
Yeah, but I'll talk about that in the next. But I wanted to finish up
Yes.
how I got to know. So Queer Campus Hyderabad group unde Hyderabad lo, which was founded by Abhishek Thamadi and Satya Rautre. So నేను ఫేస్బుక్ లో ఒక ఢిల్లీ ఫ్లాష్ మాబ్ చూసాను అనమాట, ఎల్జిబిటిక్యూ ఢిల్లీ ఫ్లాష్ మాబ్.
Which year?
ఇట్ వాజ్ ఇన్ 2012 లో చూసాను.
Okay.
ఫేస్బుక్ గ్రూప్ లో, లైక్ ఐ వాజ్ ఇన్ ద దెన్ when I tried to figure it out, okay, this is not what I wanted, just hook up kaadu, I need to figure out exactly emotionally naku
Something serious.
Yeah, then I deleted my like fake account, and I then started adding people on my actual account, and I started joining the groups. Like Harmless Hugs Delhi nunchi, Queer Campus Hyderabad nunchi, Namma Pride is from Bangalore, Yarian is from Mumbai, Kerala nunchi oka group undi. There are like 5-10 groups of every state who celebrate their pride.
Okay.
So ala oka Harmless Hugs dantlo chusinappudu అక్కడ ఎల్జిబిటిక్యూ ఫ్లాష్ మాబ్ ఆర్గనైజ్ చేశారనమాట. అండ్ ఐ లవ్ డాన్సింగ్, అండ్ నేను క్లాసికల్ డాన్స్ 3 years నేర్చుకున్నాను, 2.5 years నేర్చుకున్నాను కూచిపూడి. When I was 10 and 11 and 12.
Okay.
సో అప్పుడు కూచిపూడి నేర్చుకున్నాను. లైక్ I want to dance and I love dancing. So ఆ వీడియో చూసి I posted on Queer Campus Hyderabad saying like, oh, Hyderabad people also should do something like that. I saw Delhi people doing it. It is so fun. I think we also need to do it for the like awareness and representation. So organizers said like, oh yeah, that is very good of you, like very initiative. నువ్వు like జనాలందరినీ గ్యాదర్ చెయ్యి, then we can talk. So that process went almost like more than 9-10 months.
Okay.
So
were you able to convince them to have all these things in the janalni?
Yeah, వచ్చారు జనాలు, బికాస్ మేము రిహార్సల్స్ చేసాం అనమాట. లైక్ ఫేస్బుక్ గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టాను కదా, people commented there, whoever wanted. There are people who accepted themselves and they're not out to outside people. So at that point when I was like posting about these things, I accepted myself that I'm gay.
Okay.
So
let me hold on to that thought. So when you're saying that you have accepted yourself, did you also happen to tell your parents about it by then?
No. I wish.
Your siblings at least know about it. Your cousins, no one knows about
nobody knows when I. So when in 21 years ఉన్నప్పుడు అంటున్నావా?
Yeah. అంటే ఇప్పుడు అంత ఉన్నప్పుడు అవన్నీ
అప్పట్లో ఎవ్వరికి చెప్పలేదు నేను. Nobody knows.
Okay.
So I will come on to those points, like when I did this. So
yeah.
Where was I forgot.
So you were Facebook. Saying that you were having this party, I mean, and you were organizing everything.
Yeah, organizing. So Facebook lo pettinappudu people అందరు comment చేశారు, వచ్చారు, and then they posted saying everybody was so excited, and the organizer and me, we found a dance choreographer, and we first met casually to see how people are interested or not, and then we had to create a WhatsApp group and whatnot. And rehearsals was for like 3 months. Rehearsals ki at least took a 40 to 50 people, 40 to 35 to 50 people వచ్చేవాళ్ళు. So November 15th was the day we did. November 15, 2015, Usmania University lo చేసాము.
Oh, okay.
Usmania University lo. So again, getting permission at Usmania University, మేము ఫస్ట్ నెక్లెస్ రోడ్ దగ్గర అడిగాము. నెక్లెస్ రోడ్ దగ్గర అడిగితే Necklace Road వాళ్ళు like 50,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees కట్టాలి అన్నారు. I'm like, why do we even need money to just perform? So because we are gay, because we fall under LGBTQ group, so you have to pay money. You know how like fucked up, I'm sorry for using that word, but how fucked up the whole hierarchical system and like
Right.
bribing system works.
Yeah.
So Usmania University law, with the help of like Telangana Transgender committee walato, we got permission at Usmania University law. So they told us to perform at 4. They did not let us perform.
Oh, okay.
పోలీసులు వచ్చి మీకు పర్మిషన్ ఉన్నా ఏదన్నా చేయలేరు అది ఇది ఇది అది అని. We couldn't do it. We were waiting for 2 hours. తర్వాత తెలంగాణ ట్రాన్స్జెండర్ కమిటీ మెంబర్స్ అందరూ వచ్చి వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడితే దెన్ దే లెట్ us do it. So అప్పుడు only 20 people came. The rest all 30 people did not come. Then I got an idea. Then that it makes sense for me, because all these people doesn't felt Arias Santa, they felt like a home. Like, that's where they can see all the similar people who's going through the same emotions.
Yeah.
And they don't want to come out, which is totally understandable. So Arias Kandariki Kochi, like Arias time Kochi, they used to have fun and everything. That felt like that is a
That's
stress relief,
the
or like they could see people.
Yeah. That's the place where they can be themselves, and they can't be themselves in outside, where people have not accepted something like this.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So Adi organized chesanu, and I was on Times of India's like page 3 law. I still have the pictures of that, me dancing and saying, like, people said like, oh, Hyderabad LGBTQ people వాళ్ళ rights కోసం ఇలా dance చేసి awareness పెట్టారు అది ఇది అని. But that was written in English in Times of India. So my parents are illiterates, they are not educated. So my mom was so happy that I was on newspaper. That's it, period. No other conversations. Luckily, Telugu newspaperలలో ఎక్కువ పిక్చర్స్ వేయలేదు. తెలుగు న్యూస్ పేపర్లో పిక్చర్స్ వేసారు అనుకో, మా మమ్మీ తెలుగు మాట్లాడగలుగుతుంది. అండ్ ఆల్సో తెలుగు పేపర్లో వేసారు, లైక్ ఆన్ ద కార్నర్లో వేసారు. And they also, the wording was so weird. In spite, we said like there's different identities of like lesbian, gay, and trans, and like other people.
Right.
They just mentioned transgender line of money. Like, they just kept transgender line of money and Satya and Abhishek. We don't all identify as trans.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Well, ఏదో ఒకటి రాసామా అన్నట్టు రాసేసేవాళ్ళు.
Okay. Did you happen to give them a script, like written?
Yes, we did give one of the organizer, Tashi, she gave the script and everything. Email పెట్టాము, తర్వాత తీసేయమని and whatnot. I don't know how it went off, because November 15, 2015, I performed there. December 1st, 2015, na visa interview unde US ki. And December 21st, 2015, I came here.
Okay.
So I don't know it. Everything ఒకటేసారి eventually place లో పడిపోయింది అన్నమాట. Like, the plan was, I didn't plan accordingly, honestly. I wanted to come United States because I figured it out. మా ఫ్యామిలీతోని, సో ఇలా డాన్స్ ప్రాక్టీస్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు అప్పుడప్పుడు మా ఫ్రెండ్స్ ని ఇంటికి తీసుకొచ్చేవాళ్ళు అనమాట. లైక్ we used to come and hang out and like eat. మా ఇంట్లో ఏదైనా చిన్న దావత్ అవుతే I used to invite them, they used to come. And I told my parents like, oh, these are my co-worker and he's gay. నేను కాదని చెప్పకపోయేది వాళ్ళు. మా మమ్మీ లైక్ డైరెక్ట్ గా తిట్టేది అనమాట. లైక్, ఓ కాళ్ళు రబ్బడతా అలాంటి వాళ్ళతో తిరిగితే, లైక్ వాళ్ళని చేంజ్ చేస్తారు, అలాంటి వాళ్ళతో ఉండొద్దు, అది ఇది అని. సో ఐ ఫిగర్డ్ ఇట్ అవుట్. ఇట్స్ లైక్ సో మచ్. అండ్ ఆల్సో మా ఫ్యామిలీలో ఇష్యూస్ కూడా చాలా నడుస్తున్నాయి. Because my families are my mom and dad are like saviors to the whole family. వాళ్ళ అక్క తమ్ముళ్ళు గాని అన్న తమ్ముళ్ళు గాని ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటే they will be the first person to go and resolve.
Right.
So that's it. I think I never told them when I was in India. But interesting fact, I have like హైదరాబాద్ లో చూసినా కానీ లైక్ ఇలా ఒగ్గు కథలు చెప్పేవాళ్ళు అండ్ బోనాలు, మీకు బోనాలు ఐడియా ఉందా?
తెలుసు అనుభవం
యా,
తెలుసు.
బోనాలు చేసినప్పుడు ఇలా షిగముగే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. లైక్ అబ్బాయిలు చీర కట్టుకొని బియర్ తోని షిగాలు ఊగే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, విచ్ ఇస్ లైక్ ప్రెటీ మచ్ క్వియర్. లైక్ జస్ట్ బికాస్ దే గెట్ మ్యారీడ్ టు అ ఉమెన్, they fall under like heteronormative society, and they're like straight enough to go and do whatever they want. And these men have so much of privilege that they could do anything. Like they go beyond and just like spoil the life of a girl. They don't think about her. Like, what is it? Like, what are you going to do? You just got married her and like she has babies and she's just house arrested, and you will be wandering around and having fun whatever you want. That is again comes under like men privilege, acknowledging that. And like ఇప్పుడు నేను మా ఫ్యామిలీతో like I'm out to my family and they know everything. They try to trap me and say like, oh, why don't you just get married and like ఒకసారి పెళ్లి చేసుకో, తర్వాత ఏమన్నా అవుతుంది, ఏమన్నా చేసుకోవచ్చు అని. Like literally my parents have these conversations every other week.
Actually, I know that these kind of things happen in India, at least in Hyderabad, because I'm also from Hyderabad. I know a lot of stories that happen in Hyderabad. Though my native is Kerala, I hardly know anything about Kerala. Whatever happens, it may happen everywhere. Actually,
It's definitely there
put
everywhere.
it in saying that it only happens in Hyderabad because I'm there. No, it may happen. So there are a lot of families who do this. Even if they tell their parents that they have no interest in women, they wouldn't agree to it. No, ye ho nahi sakta. Like asal that cannot happen to you. It's not.
That is
మన ఫ్యామిలీలో ఉండదురా.
అదే కదా. That is what like I'm having my conversations with my parents right now. That is exactly the way I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
And I know how toxic my parents' brothers are, like my brothers and sisters. My mom's brothers and sisters are like in all of this, like what do you call politics and like rajakiyalallo.
Oh yeah.
They all wear this like white and white Qadar t-shirt, the Qadar shirt and Qadar pants, and with rings and with this big bottu vetkoni, like gutka leskoni, like they were like so rowdy-ish. And I know how beyond they could go, because there are so many people in my own family who got intercaste marriage and they got rid of them. When I say got rid of them, they literally got rid of them. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say that the word here, but this was back in 2000, 2002. That is what I have to try to have conversations with my mom right now. So how would your brothers would react if I come to Hyderabad, and how would you gonna handle with it?
You better don't go.
That is what, right? In like from last 5 years, I haven't been to Hyderabad, and my mom is freaking out that my mom, as I told, my mom and dad, they're like in survival mode. They're thinking that I'm in problem.
That is another thing.
They're freaking out that they're not able to handle this situation.
I mean, I wouldn't say I have seen, but I have heard stories that if somebody comes out like this, they'll say, koncham poojal jepiddamu, doctor దగ్గర తీసుకుపోదాము. Okay, so these are the things that you would listen. So the thing is, it's very, very difficult to make them understand that this is not something that can get treated.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it is definitely so hard.
It's very difficult to make people understand, especially if they do not have that kind of what to say, I wouldn't say background. So people who can think by themselves, that mental stability if they have without other people's involvement, those people will understand these things.
Yeah.
But if you think that you cannot make decisions without other people getting involved, those people will not be able to take a decision for you.
Yeah.
That's what I understood.
It's definitely hard. So they would never like understand what I'm going through. They always think this is a problem and they need to like fix this.
Okay, so now I have a question there. There will be I don't know if there's anyone who's watching this. There will be people who are
Mm-hmm.
now getting forced.
Mm-hmm.
They may be gay or whatever their the gender, whatever.
Identity.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
identity. I don't have to know, but this is a similar situation throughout.
Yeah.
They may be getting forced to get married to the opposite sex. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is your advice to them? What is the best thing that they should do
Um,
so that they can balance? There is first of all, I think you cannot balance. You cannot keep everybody happy, right?
mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah. So I personally say that like you don't need to feel obligated to come out to anybody unless you are ready. Unless you are ready to come out and say to people that I'm gay and that I'm queer and like gender queer and all
When
this.
you say unless you are ready as in accepting, like, okay, ready, define ready.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that too.
Yeah.
So when I say ready, when you're ready mentally to handle the situations that's going to come with your family, like when you
Mm.
say them, how are they going to react? What are the steps you're going to take? Do you have a plan B? That is something. And the plan B is something you should be financially stable for yourself. You
Yeah.
should be independent. And you need to have like chosen family already so that you could seek shelter or like you could seek and go stay with them if you have a
Okay.
chosen family.
Yeah.
So being queer and like LGBTQ part of thing is the best thing is like you get to choose your own family. You get to choose your own friends and your like own families. Like I was so happy. I'm so happy and I could say that I have chosen family in DC. And I could call them at any night and they would come and show up to me and like be because they know how it is to be without biological family. Because we all have before and after life. I know people whoever listening they said like, oh, I get it. It is so hard and everything. No, you don't get it. It's you can be in solidarity and support us, but you don't get it unless you are in our shoe. We would only get to know when like within our own community people. So choosing your chosen family is the first thing, and then you need to financially be ready and like stable and have everything planned, like make sure that you're having resources that you could show them being gay is fine, because there are so many people out in Hyderabad or in everywhere in India. There are parents who accepted their kids, and there are people in US who got married, like South Asian gay men got married, and South Asian
Yeah.
lesbians got married. They
Yeah.
have their own family system supported. So have these all resources within yourself. And when there is a rescue that you need to do, you could also refer to all these people and like show them.
But the issue is for them, the major issue that I think is, it's for the issue is not accepting you is not the issue. For their issue is they won't be accepted in the society. They will have a problem because
Mhm.
they don't have the courage to talk to them.
Yeah.
So the problem is not just the guy, even the parents need to have the courage. Parents need to
Mhm.
be prepared.
Mhm.
Parents readiness also is equally important because they are the one who's going to face a society.
Yeah. But again, I partially agree with it, but it's nothing to do with a queer person. Like,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so if he is ready to be out and like be living his own life, he should not be entitled that my parents should face this. Like just because of parents came అయిపోతుందో అని like he cannot just be in closet and get married to a woman, or just be in closet or not be happy with. There are people who are in closet and like happy and not married. That is fine,
Yeah.
but that is something they have chosen to be. That is their own boundaries with themselves and with the family. But I'm saying people who wanted to be out and like be proud of themselves, they need to just they need to put themselves first.
Yeah.
And in South Asian families, we don't talk about mental health, and like that is again a huge stigma around mental health, that they don't want it to talk. Put If you're putting yourself first is like such a worst thing. Like you're doing ఏదో పెద్ద పాపం చేస్తున్నట్టే. లైక్ నిన్ను నువ్వు ముందెందుకు పెట్టుకుంటున్నావు? వేరే లైక్ ముందు బయట వాళ్ళ గురించి ఆలోచించు. వాళ్ళ
వాళ్ళేమనుకుంటున్నారు,
దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ రైట్.
పక్క వాళ్ళు ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు, మన రిష్తేదారులు ఏమనుకుంటారు.
నేను ఇప్పుడు మా మమ్మీ వాళ్ళతో కూడా అదే మాట్లాడుతుంటాను. లైక్ నేను I don't call them whenever they want to talk to me. I only call when I want to talk and I have capacity to talk. Because speaking to my parents, my mommy to maatladte, like it is a lot of emotional exhausting. Tanto మాట్లాడినప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నాను ఏంటి అనేది ఉండదు. All conversations will be like, ఈ ఆంటీ ఇలా చేసింది, ఈ అక్క ఇలా చేసింది, ఆ ఆంటీ ఇలా చేసింది, like I don't want to know them all. Like I used to listen and talk about. I am at a point right now, I don't have time for those all. Like, I know that she enjoys that doing like gossiping and everything. I do it when I have energy, but not all the time. So when I try to say this to her, like, మమ్మీ నాకు ఇప్పుడు అంత మాట్లాడుకుని ఓపిక లేదు, వాళ్ళ గురించి ఇలా గురించి తర్వాత మాట్లాడాలంటే she'll be like, oh, నన్ను ఇట్లా చేసిన నాతో ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడడం మానేసిన.
Yeah. Just a moment.
I try to explain her like about the mental health also. Like నీకు కాలు కింద దెబ్బ తాకితే లైక్ పట్టునని హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళిపోయి లైక్ తక్కువ చేయించుకుంటావు. నీకు మైండ్ లో ఏమైతుందో దానికి నీకు కనబడదు కాబట్టి నువ్వు దాని గురించి పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ గివ్ లైక్ లైవ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. నీకు ఇక్కడ బయట తాకి ఇలా రక్తం వెళ్తుందంటే హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళిపోయి నీ కళ్ళ కనబడుతుంది కాబట్టి తీసుకెళ్తావు. నీకు మైండ్ లో ఎంత ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుందో, లైక్ నువ్వు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయలేకపోతున్నావు ఎందుకు అని అంటే there's something going on in your mind. Go speak to a therapist. Like therapist తో మాట్లాడడం అంటే ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నావు, థెరపిస్ట్ వాడేది నీ చెప్పేది నీది నువ్వు లైఫ్ నువ్వు మంచి చేసుకోవాలంటే.
Correct.
How did you find me again? I forgot.
I saw your TikTok video.
Oh my god, yeah.
The one that got viral.
Yeah. I like that was 429K when I posted, but now it passed like 1 million views and whatnot. Because see, that is what people don't understand on social media and TikTok. They're thinking they're letting me down, but they're not. They're actually like putting me on the top. Like the amount of hate you're showing on the social media algorithms gives me so much of attention, and people are getting to know about my drag art, and like that is what I want at the end of the day. But also on the other side, like they're not happy, like వాళ్ళకి అకార్డింగ్ గా ఉండలేను కాబట్టి లైక్ ఎంత లైక్ అది జీర్ణించుకోలేకపోతారు అనమాట. లైక్ దే I feel so sad, like I feel so like empathy for them that they cannot think outside of the box. Like అదే బబుల్లో ఉండి ఇదే చెయ్యాలి అని అనుకుంటారు. ఎందుకంటే they were all taught like that, but we were not like that. మనకు చాలా హిస్టరీ ఉంది. లైక్ మీరు అదంతా చూడట్లేదు. మిమ్మల్ని అంతా ఒక బాక్స్ లో పెట్టి ఇలానే థింక్ చేయి అని colonizers made you, like British colonizers has made you think like that. But actual గా మనకు దాంట్లోనే హిస్టరీలో చాలా ఉంది. So it's like again intergenerational trauma, intergenerational stereotypes that's been carrying out to all the people. ఇలా సోషల్ మీడియాలో చూసేవారికి ఒక బియర్డ్ తో నీ చీర కట్టుకొని ఉంది అని అంటే లైక్
That's what I was curious about. Usually చీర కట్టుకునే ఎవరైనా అబ్బాయిలు ఉంటే వాళ్ళకి బియర్డ్ తో నేను ఎవరిని చూడలేదు ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్. So I was like curious, ఏంటి దబ్బా ఇది అని. So I tried to search more. I saw more of your videos and I saw you on Instagram and that's where. But yeah, that's the question. Most of them don't have beards, but you have a beard and you're wearing saris for most of your performances actually.
Yeah.
And even the parade that you went last time, even there you wore your sari and with the beard. Why beard?
I have beard all the time.
Okay.
I have my beard all the time. So that is something I have explored myself a lot, like because I was like చాలా రోజులకి like I was like thinking నేను అమ్మాయిలా ఉండాలేమో మేబీ ట్రాన్సిషన్ చేసుకుని అమ్మాయిలా ఉండాలేమో
Uh-huh.
like because సొసైటీ నన్ను ఫెమినైన్ ఎనర్గా చూడట్లేదు. Like how you're saying beard ఉంది అని, so I find femininity in myself. Like నేను trans feminine అనుకుంటాను. Like I'm very feminine. I don't want people, I don't want to be according to the people like గడ్డం తీసేసి మళ్ళా స్మూత్ గా like చేతులు like I'm a hairy one. I'm a hairy person.
Yeah, that's true.
So like this is just a body hair. Body hair doesn't have gender.
Yeah. Yeah.
సో మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటే లైక్ ఐ కెన్ గివ్ యూ దిస్ సో మెనీ రెఫరెన్సెస్. యూకేలో ఒక అమ్మాయి ఉంటుంది, ఒక పంజాబీ అమ్మాయి. షీ హెస్ ఫుల్ ఆన్ బియర్డ్. షీ నెవర్ she's actually a woman born and she has a full on beard.
Oh, okay.
It's, I don't know like if you know or not, like hair is like అమ్మాయిలకు కూడా బియర్డ్ వస్తుంది, మీసాలు వస్తాయి, జుట్టు వస్తుంది, హ్యాండ్స్
yeah, I know that.
వస్తుంది. ఇఫ్ యూర్ నాట్ like waxing చేసి షేవ్ చేయకుండా ఉంటే you will also grow your hair how the fucking man is growing your hair.
మరి అంతుండదు,
but there are so many people who could get it.
Yes, there are. Those are hormone issues.
Body hair is not about the amount intuntude అని కాదు. So it's like they do have a body hair.
Correct. They do.
So the whole society is like they don't want. Like I could see people, okay, comments చేశారు, oh probably కట్టుకుంటే కట్టుకున్న చీర గడ్డం తీయాల్సింది అని అన్నారు. Like okay, it's an evolving process. So people would never know that I found my femininity in my own beard and aesthetic. So it's living very loud about not thinking about what people wanted.
Yeah.
So if you get chance, like please do look out like Alok V Menon.
What is it?
Alok V Menon.
Okay.
Yeah, they are gender non-conforming trans feminine person from Kerala, but like born and brought up in Dallas.
I think I have seen a brute video about the person, if I'm not wrong.
They talk a lot about body hair and whatnot. So that's where you could also, people can learn about how body hair doesn't have gender.
Okay. I haven't seen. No, not her, not him. Okay. So now I want to ask that question. So if I meet a queer person, how do I address the person, him or her?
You can ask them, what are your
question,
pronouns?
But please.
No, you can just, it's not a stupid question. I'm glad you asked that. You could just ask them, what are your pronouns?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you can just ask them, like, if you meet any person, if you don't mind, what are your pronouns? Can you tell me? They would be more than happy to say, oh, my pronouns are she, hers. My pronouns are he, him. My pronouns are they, them. So it's always a good like practice to ask people, what is your pronouns?
So it is so you could have both.
They could use anything, whichever they're comfortable in.
I see.
Whichever they're comfortable in. So people can use how many ever pronouns they want. I use any pronouns with respect. So I don't really like give a most important, but whenever you meet a queer person, you could just ask them, what are your pronouns? How do you like to, like, what is your gender identity? Like you could just ask, what are your pronouns?
Okay.
That's it. And what's your name?
Thank you so much actually. That's very good. I hardly no, when I see someone, I'm scared to address them. Like, I'm confused. How do I even approach them? Will they get offended? I don't want to offend them either.
Yeah, just ask them, what are your pronouns? They would be more than happy.
Thank
to
you so
answer
much.
that question.
Yeah. So another one, do you have a boyfriend now?
Me? Oh no.
You haven't found anyone yet.
No, I would rather not talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. But if you ever find someone, even if you do not find someone, do you think that you would want to have kids of your own? Because I have seen, so I'm a big fan of Modern Family. So I don't know if you have seen.
Yeah, I do know that.
TV.
I never
Uh,
watched it, but I know.
yeah, I
There's
love,
some
love,
gay
love
couple.
that series. Okay, so I'm like obsessed about most of the characters. So they have a gay couple and they
Mhm.
have kids. They basically adopt like that. Do you have such kind of long term goals that you haven't planned, but one point of time you would want to? Do you relate with this kind of thought?
Definitely yes, but before that, I should be also financially
Oh
stable.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And also the Trump administration, if they allow, because there's so many laws going against, like LGBT people cannot adopt kids, same-sex people cannot adopt kids. There's a law going on because
Mhm.
Trump administration is against LGBTQ people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely have a plan. I'm more inclined towards adopting than surrogacy because there's so many like kids who are not doesn't have family. Adoption is the best option rather than having a new kid.
Mm, yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, I think I'm very happy to know about a lot of things that I had no clue.
Yeah,
You should keep coming uh,
yeah,
to my show. I mean, I don't know.
definitely.
Uh,
Thank you so much for having me.
no, that's it's my pleasure. So maybe tomorrow, if there are anybody who has questions, they can come on and ask a question, and maybe you
Mhm,
could answer and help them out. We don't know how I'm going to make use of you, but I really want you to be there for people who are struggling.
mhm, mhm,
So I will put out
definitely.
your Instagram handle on this video so that people can
Mhm,
reach out to you and your email ID if possible.
definitely.
And most
Definitely.
importantly, I want to
Mhm,
ask, this is the last question.
mhm.
How do people bash you? Like, when you put out your videos, do you think you get a lot of hate emails, hate messages? How do you handle those things?
So I get every day one hate message for sure.
Oh,
So it's like so many people. It comes from the insecurities, I guess, and in terms of how I handle is like most of the time I ignore them. I try to ignore them, and I feel like it is not affecting me, but it actually affects me in terms of actions. Because if I have like 10 to-do lists for this week,
mm,
I would not able to do any like 10 of them. So my mind is like, oh, don't think
disturbed.
about it, but my body and my like whole heart like doesn't give my 100%. It's again coming from very narcissistic family. Like I grew up in a narcissistic family. Like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever goes on inside, but you have to pretend like everything is fine. So that's why I try to practice the way that people should know what I'm actually going through. And I also like show the positive messages too, not just the hate messages.
Mm,
People
mm.
should know that I'm getting hate. It's not that easy to be out and open, and if you're being, you have to be mentally prepared. And I don't want it to be like a pretty fairy tale story that money is having so much fun. That's it. No, there's a lot to unpack, so much. So most of the time I try to do self-care for myself.
Oh, self-care as
So
in?
I probably sometimes try to do doodle arts. That is something like ఇలా ముగ్గులు వేయడం అంటారు కదా. So
Right,
all
right.
the doodle arts, I try to do doodle art. Sometimes I just hang out with my close friends, just go on to sit by water sometimes,
Mm,
um,
mm, mm.
and try to cook a lot. Cooking is something that I love. అన్ని వండుతాను,
Oh,
మన తెలుగు వంటలు అన్నీ వండుతాను. So that is something gives me so much of like self care, but it's definitely so much of hate. నాకు ఒక్క ప్రతిరోజు ఒక హేట్ మెసేజ్ అయితే కంపల్సరీ వస్తుంది. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్.
mm. Yeah. So I'm so happy to meet you. And that's where we end this video in a hope. that people, whoever is watching this, the idea of this video is,
I could say that if you don't really, if you feel like that you're like having your gender is very fluid, like you don't want it to fall under being very feminine only or being very masculine, you could be in between. You could just do whatever you want, like gender fuckery. So you can play. It's like gender fluid.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and another thing is that when you're still struggling with all those things, please do not get married to your opposite sex. And that's the most important thing. Just to convince or just to, you know, keep your parents happy, don't
mhm.
try to spoil your life and the
True.
girl's life and the kids who are going to be
Mhm,
born. So I hope this message gets through into your minds.
mhm,
And
mhm.
if you need help, you should contact Money. I will keep
Yes.
his Instagram handle in this particular video. You can contact him. Also, his email ID, you can find it on Instagram itself, actually. I'm not
Yes.
going to link it on my video. But,
True.
anyways, thank you for being here and
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.